Max Steel is the best movie I've ever seen. This honestly blew me away because I remember the show being pretty alright, but I had no idea that a movie would be able to top it. The movie begins with these absolutely beautiful shots, and we see our main character, who is so damn cool, he sits on the roof. This is a metaphor for how everything in his life is beneath him, because he's just way cooler than everyone else. This is Max, which is a sick name, who has recently moved to a new house. He's letting his mum live with him because he honestly feels bad that she's so lame and stupid. Max reminds her to keep her gross hands away from him. Max blames his mother's patheticness for why his father isn't around anymore. I feel bad for Max because his dad's the one that taught him to be so chill and handsome. Max begins to notice that his coolness can bend reality to his will, which only demonstrates a mere fraction of his godlike powers. Max knows he's the main character, but he has to attend school. Knowing that other people are watching, he shows off his stunt skills. The person who saw Max's excellent and intentional fall picks him up and his bike and takes them to her place where she fixes it. Max's godlike Riz turns on the radio before we can learn this girl's name, but we don't need to know. This movie's characters are just so brilliant that I feel like I've known them all my life. Back at home, Max sniffs out an intruder in his castle, who apparently knows him. This guy worked with Max's dad, and hearing this sets off Max's unlimited power. This causes something to react in a random building. The CGI in this whole movie just trumps anything in any other movie without a doubt. This scientist's cool factor isn't high enough for this creature, so it starts causing a fuss and an outrage. Enraged by his shitty computer, Max starts gooning out of his hand, which proves how much game he has. He starts blowing things up. To get to the bottom of his goon powers, Max uses his giant intellect to search questions like, who am I? He's so spiritual. Max is sick of not knowing much about his dad, so he asks his mum, who doesn't give him an answer. Something is watching the two's conversation, and the mystery of what's going on is done so well. I'm really intrigued to see where this goes. Max meets with his bike fixer, who really can't handle Max's power of seduction. His Riz is now getting too strong for him to handle, but you know our boy's handling it like a champ. See, now he's at home. Now Max has a sick tattoo, which only makes him cooler. Man, I wish I was this guy. The creature from before shows himself. His name is Steel, and he really wants to suck Max off, like his goon energy.
Oh god, my mom is coming. You have to hide.
Is my mom dangerous?
Steel needs to keep sucking Max's energy or he'll explode again. The two fellas go to school because Max has a cool reputation to uphold. The movie's whole concept is about these two, and you can tell by their interactions that the chemistry between them is done to perfection, with there being no other duo who surpasses them.
Excuse me one second.
Max and Steel, oh my god, Max Steel, that's so genius, break into a lab to investigate Steel's past, which he can't remember. Steel also acts as the comedy relief, and he is hilarious. Max gains even more levels of awesome as he starts backflipping because of Steel's help. Through Steel's memories, Max learns more about his dad, the sex god himself. Steel speaks of the villains, the Ultralinks, which sound very threatening and scary. Max uses his charm to convince Sophia to take him to the place that Miles fella works at. The movie's halfway done at this point, and not a lot has happened yet, but that means we have plenty of time to see some cool action. Max almost explodes again after talking with Miles. These explosions keep edging him. Max runs away from Wind because Wind is terrifying, and the cause of it was one of those Ultralinks. Steel shows up and bonds with Max to create this fantastic looking armor. The evil tornado also gobbles Max up, but he blows it up. The Ultralink looks like Steel, which creates distrust among the pair. My favorite trope in movies is when the two main characters fight just to come back in the climax, so I really hope that's what's happening here. Miles tells Max that his mum's been taken to his dad's old lab, so he needs to get her. But wait, she's at home, and she's in cahoot with the bad soldiers? Whoa, what a shocking reveal. I'm really invested in this plot now. Max finds an unconscious Steel and gains more knowledge about his dad. What's this? Miles is the bad guy, and here he is now in the present. He wants to drain Max for his energy, which is such a cool and original villain plot. This movie also has really great music. It's so unique and stands out from anything I've heard. The two main characters link up again and fight the main villain. The fight is so awesome that other action movies wish they had this sauce. Miles starts to drain Max's goon juice, but those random soldiers show up to defend Max. These unnamed soldiers are my favorite characters. One inspiring memory really motivates Max to get back into the fight and to make this face. He gives Miles all the goon energy he could ever want and he explodes. Wow, the foreshadowing from earlier coming back now? Done excellently. Max's mum confesses that she is a coward, and that she knows about steel. Max finally puts his Riz to good use, and kisses Sophia. Then he flies away. I'm so glad they only showed the suit and the fighting only a few times because I really didn't want to see that.
What's your name?
Sadly, this masterpiece of a movie comes to an end, and I really wish this movie went on for a couple more hours. I've never seen anything like it, and I don't think anything is going to live up to this movie's legacy. That's why it got 110% on Rotten Tomatoes.